Awesome date, October 13th, 2008. Awesome topic? There was a podcast here, but it's gone now. But if we had a podcast, it would probably be OSMcast. Hello and welcome to the OSMcast.
Your podcast for everything awesome.
That's what she said.
I'm Basil.
Lee.
And I'm DJ Inabito once again.
And that's us. Although, are you sure you're Lee? Or you're like maybe some sort of evil doppelganger that thinks he might be Lee?
Well, yes. I am Dark Lee.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'll prove it.
No, you're not.
I'll stab you.
Ow!
See, I'm evil twin.
Okay,
Let's
you're
move
evil
on.
Lee. Moving on.
So, I don't think we really have much in the way of World of Awesome this time.
I don't know. We can damn sure try.
Let's do it. Go for it. Play the music, James. Play it. I meant, play it when you edit this, not now.
Shut up!
Down, 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 down. Burn Madrid!
Well, I for one have been playing Mega Man 9, and it's pretty damn awesome. It gives you the whole retro feel because, if for those of you who don't know, like the one person maybe, it's, redone in the old Mega Man, 2-ish style, where you got the old sprites and Mega Man can't, slide or charge up his Mega Buster, and it's pretty much a nostalgia trip that's really, really hard. It's Nintendo hard.
Excellent.
Well, they just released downloadable content recently that you can now download Proto Man.
Yeah, play as Proto Man.
Proto Man
For like
available
$2.
now. That's crazy.
And he can slide and he can charge up his laser. But he takes double damage. So
There you go.
They're charging his lasers.
And speaking of Capcom,
Oh, yes. I have to comment, since I wasn't on the podcast last week, you guys were talking about this glorious little game called Street Fighter 4 that has awesome cover art featuring my goddess Chun-Li. Oh, yeah. Suck it, Japan. We have the better cover art this time.
And damn, she looks good.
Yeah, well, obviously. She always looks good. Come on.
Well, I mean, especially on this one.
Yes. And they also revealed that Gauken was going to be a character, kind of giving a mock haha to the old EGM April Fools, for those of you who are old enough to remember that magazine article. I know I tried to do it. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it took forever. And I was pissed when I didn't get him.
Whoa.
at least, we found out that actually there's not a Street Fighter 4 machine in Montgomery, like we originally led to believe.
That was deemed false. I will kill you if you...
We almost took a 5-hour trip for nothing.
Yeah.
But we didn't, so it's cool.
It's alright.
And also, this past weekend, the fall anime all started airing in Japan, so
Awesome.
pretty soon the torrent sites will be filled with lots of episode 1s. All sorts of shows. Some good, some bad. I don't know yet, because I'm busy watching Macross 7 instead of actually watching new things.
Took the wing in midnight.
And then all the otaku will wake like Christmas morn and go, episodes!
This is crap!
Well, there's Rosario plus Vampire Season 2.
Exactly.
That apparently is getting edited because there's just too many panty shots already. Or
You mean edited in Japan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Japanese channels are editing some of the panty shots out of Rosario plus Vampire.
Man,
Yeah.
that deserves its own podcast.
Sometimes, panties are just too much. Apparently.
I think that it further states that Noe Moe is bullshit.
Well,
is
it's
that
true.
series Moe Moe?
I consider it kind of moe moe.
There's at least one moe moe character.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said before, the wonderfulness of the Genki girl has been sort of been outplaced as the official standard of cute in Japan by the stupid moe girl.
My guess is that we're going to get 4 moe moe bullshit series this fall season.
Just 4?
Just 4. That's my guess.
There's like 40 shows. I bet at least 10 of them are moe.
You never know. We'll put some money on it.
I'll go down on that. I'll bet that.
All right, I'll try to remember this later on, and when we get all the episodes, we're gonna...
How many are you saying, Lee?
I'm going to say there's going to be exactly 16.
Okay.
All
I'm being kind, apparently.
Wait. I should hedge my bets. I'll say 8.
What? No, you're sticking with 16.
No,
Okay, I'll stick with 16.
You chose 16, you're dealing with it.
Like, James got 4. I'll take 10. You can take 16.
All right.
And we'll see who ends up the victor.
Okay.
To the victor goes the spoils of... I don't know.
I don't want those spoils.
Really, I hope James wins, because that means less moe bullshit.
No, it's true.
Anime.
I'm being
really,
optimistic here.
If he or Lee are right, we all lose. But...
Expect us to debate which shows are moe moe and why, towards us winning the bet, probably.
And, of course, if you have any comments about our ideas or want to prove us wrong or right or what have you...
If you want to argue the fruitlessness of moe moe bullshit...
Yes, we'd love to have you on, and we promise
make fun of you.
No, we promise we'll be gentle.
I will totally rip into you if you start talking about moe moe bullshit.
But please... let us rip into you or something, or just hear from you. And there's multiple ways you can do this. You can leave messages, comments on our website. Just click on the comment section and type away. Or send us an email, OSMcast@gmail.com. Or send us a voicemail by calling the Awesome Line. Area code 206-202-0071.
I'd recommend the Awesome Line as the preferred way, because then we can use your voice on air.
Yes.
And that will be pretty bitchin'.
We can embarrass you all over again.
Or if you want to see us in person, pretty soon we're going to have 2 options for you.
Yes.
For that particular purpose.
AnimeCons, holla.
First, we're going to be at CrisisCon, which is a Huntsville, Alabama science fiction, video game, anime, smorgasbord sort of con. It's actually Halloween weekend, October 31st through November 2nd. Where hopefully we're going to be running a podcast roundtable panel there. And we hope this will be pretty cool. We've contacted the Dead Party Workers conglomerate. They have several podcasts. They're also based in Huntsville. They have like a Team Fortress 2 podcast, and a Warhammer podcast, and a WoW podcast, and possibly other podcasts. It's kind of like the OSMcast, only they break them up into separate feeds, I think.
I wonder who has time to edit all that. Not me.
Well, I mean, I don't think they update like every podcast every day or something. Like, I think they release like one. They have different. I think it's more categories.
There's no
of podcasts.
They fail.
Anyways, so and if there's any other podcasters in Huntsville, contact us. A round table is only really a round table. We have multiple people on the table weighing in on these things.
How many did the AWA have? It had y'all and
we had 4.
AWA, us, Akihabara Transitions, and
Renditions.
Akihabara Renditions, excuse me, and Greatest Podcast Ever. Yes, that's it.
And so, that was 4 podcasts. We'll hopefully have us and one other, which would at least make 2. But if we can get more, that'd be awesome.
Yes, excellent.
And also, I think hopefully the whole crew will be there at CrisisCon.
I know I will.
Us 3, Eric, who knows else. And then James and Eric are going to be dashing off into the world of Virginia.
Yes.
For NecoCon, which is the weekend after.
Whoa, you guys are hardcore.
Well, Basil's coming too.
Yes, the secret to it is we have guildmates on WoW that we're meeting.
Yes.
Whatever.
But, they're gracious enough to let us come as press, because we'll hopefully can beg for interviews from other people and stuff. And hopefully by this point you've heard our Gina Biggs interview, and hopefully that went well and you enjoyed it. But there we go. So we're going to be at 2 cons in the very near future, which I think will wrap up our con season. Which has actually been pretty busy this year. We did MTAC and AWA, now 2 more cons.
Not bad. Not bad.
So that's... can only, add more next year.
Like 3 of them were, within 2 months of each other, but still.
Well, yes. But,
I've seen worse.
What can you do? What can you do?
It's true.
Well, to find some excuse to hit up more cons earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho's, I'm sure that you didn't come to this podcast to listen to us blabber about podcasting.
Desu.
Did you just desu me?
No.
Desu.
Anyways, we are now going to bring you our feature presentation. Since it's, October and kind of a spooky, creepy sort of month, we thought we would. Persona 3 is kind of creepy, but let's dive in head first.
Creepy.
Let's kick it up a notch from just creepy, there's blood everywhere, to holy shit, creepy.
And by that we mean Konami's series of Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, dog.
Yeah.
It's a hill that is also silent.
No, it's not. That's not
Silent Hill was conceived by game designer Keiichiro Toyama. And this was back in 1999 for the Sony PlayStation.
Yeah, it was fucking old, man.
Yeah.
99.
9 years ago.
And those who don't know, it's a survival horror, and pretty much one of the staple survival horror series, rivaled only by, I'd say, Resident Evil, pretty much.
Oh yeah,
I would agree.
I mean, there's other old school, or even more old school, like Alone in the Dark. But that's really, it sort of has lost all relevance over the years.
It's a notable precursor to our modern Silent Hill-isms, but. And especially since the failing of the recent remake, or not remake, but Alone in the Dark video game.
Sort of the re-envisioning.
Yes.
The bullcrap of Alone in the Dark.
But yes, Silent Hill, well, I got into it because, I don't know, way back in the day, I was getting tired of the same old, and somebody said, Lee, the scariest thing in the world is this game called Silent Hill. And I was like, if it's the scariest thing in the world, I have to play it. And I did.
And you got your crap scared out of you.
Yes, I played it at anywhere between, it had to be between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., lights off, and alone.
With headphones?
No, I did not do it with headphones.
Don't do the headphones thing. That's scary.
Yeah, it really is. But I did it alone, and it was great. I gave myself nightmares. It was a blast.
I was freaked out. I wasn't actually playing. I was watching our friend Suze play it.
Shout out to Suze, because she's the biggest Silent Hill fan this side of the world. So.
Basil can't handle playing it by himself.
Shut up. Leave me alone. No, I can't. I get scared way too easily. Anyways, and I watched her play this. This is after the PS2 came out, right before the 360 came out, and still this really, really ugly PlayStation 1 era, you can barely make out the polygons even are, let alone, actual faces or anything. And it was still freaking me the hell out, so.
The thing I liked about it is that we mentioned earlier that the two main games are Resident Evil and Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's because they're the main two because they both approach different ways of scaring you. Resident Evil is more of a shit pops out at you, boo, kind of scary, and Silent Hill kind of... It's had a tradition of playing on you psychologically.
Exactly. It's a deeper, unsettling atmosphere that just...
Very unsettling, very creepy.
And that's the thing. You won't just... After you're done playing, you'll still... Like, for example, when I would get done at 2 a.m. and crawl into bed, that's when things really got, because I started thinking about everything, and then that's when I really started freaking out. And back to the PlayStation 1 graphics, I think that the crudeness of the PlayStation 1 graphics actually are a good thing, because for the first game, because you don't know what's going on, you can't make out these weird creatures, and the fact that they're not detailed makes them even freakier.
It's very true.
I don't know, I mean, seeing Silent Hill 2 was... The jump in clarity, it still was able to keep the creepiness without actually, you know...
Well, I agree, but I still think for the time it did a monumental...
Well, for the time, it was still really, really good. I mean, I'm not saying the graphics are not bad for its time, just that it's from an era where graphics just couldn't be all that great. Especially since it was not doing the whole... It wasn't out like a lot of the Square RPGs did, or Resident Evil did, with the pre-rendered background, so they get up the polygon count.
Right. They were doing it all.
It was full 3D. It was like Metal Gear Solid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is another game, also by Konami, oddly enough. They did wonderful things with really crappy graphics, because that's just what they were offered at the time.
Exactly. But before we go into more about this, let's get into the meat of what Silent Hill is, although that's kind of hard to define. Silent Hill is a town. A town in somewhere in the United States. It's usually argued that it's in the New England area.
Yeah.
Some people, there was one person I heard do something about California, but that's kind of bullshit, I think. I don't know. But
I think the latest rumor I heard was Illinois, because of the lake matched or something like that.
But anyways, the town is pretty much the constant, quote-unquote, character, if you will, that binds every game in the series together, more or less, as we'll come to when we get to Silent Hill 4. But it's a mist-shrouded town with just a strange background. Everything from... Well, the main thing...
There's so many things that...
Well, the main thing is pretty much a cult, but we'll get into... The first... Yeah, it's a town with... That, you know... That's just dark. That's the only way you could really say it. Yeah, that sounds lame, but
bad things happen in Silent Hill.
Well, it's pretty much whoever visits. It's pretty much can be anywhere between scary as hell to their own personal nightmare, and
it's one of those where Silent Hill lures people to go to it in a way, but only certain people.
And there's a whole multiple shades of reality to it. There'll be the everyday town. And then there'll be, you know, the place that has monsters, and they overlap, and it's kind of hard to define.
Well, it also depends on the person, you know.
Yes.
In it, like we'll get into this more especially in Silent Hill 2, where the town is the town, but how you perceive the town is different for every person.
Exactly.
Who walks through the town. Mm-hmm. And it's not so much, I think, and it's really weird because the town has its own, you know, character, its own history, but it's more like the history is created by the town just by existing, and it's like it's just a bad zone, a bad area where just freaky stuff just happens.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And let's get to the first person who has the freaky shit unleashed on them. A man by the name of Harry Mason, who is driving towards that area with his adopted daughter Cheryl. And he sees something out on the road. I believe it's
another young little girl.
Yes, it's a young girl. And he has a car accident near this town. And when he wakes up in his car, he seems to be all right, but Cheryl's nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. And that's what starts.
That's how the town lures Harry into its grasp, is he has to go and find his little girl, basically.
Yes. And from there, he gets into, you know, just the streets are filled with mist. There are these strange bat-like creatures floating around. The dogs seem to have transformed into rotting flesh beasts.
You want to bite your ankle off.
And when he tries to leave the town, which he can't because a ravine seemed to appear out of nowhere, just cutting off concrete and the roads.
Yeah.
He's stuck there.
He entered and he got stuck. He couldn't go back. There's giant gaps in the roads where he can't progress anymore.
And it's his own personal nightmare, made worse by the fact that he's a father having to desperately search for his daughter everywhere. And from the first thing that I found scary, really scary, you wander around town and you don't know what's going on, and you have to find clues. And you find a clue that, a drawing that Harry's daughter did telling him to the school. And I have to tell you, the school for me was one of the scariest places in the whole series.
It is pretty creepy, especially because, you've got this place that is, you always view this as a warm place, a happy place, because if you have kids or you are kids, this is where you go to learn.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be a safe haven, protected by adults, where
not in Silent Hill,
where you go there and you're safe and you can learn. It's supposed to be a very positive thing, especially like in elementary school, because
this is, yes.
Because that's where everything starts. Hopefully they haven't gotten crazy or stupid like in high school. We might become all like delinquents or something,
or just emo.
Good enough.
But it turns the whole thing on its head by making it this horribly creepy. It's the antithesis of what you expect a school to be.
Babies with knives want to stab you.
It's
much.
Still very much a school.
Yes, and that's the thing, is you get the vibe, I don't know, it brings back childhood memories of being at school, and then you blend that with the horror of finding your way around the school littered with murderous, they're like, what, demon children or something?
Yeah, demon babies with knives.
That stab you and make the most horrific sounds.
Well, the sounds like...
There's sounds everywhere. That's a great thing to bring out.
Well, the thing is that, as much as the graphics, a 32-bit processor only could put out so much back in 1999, but the other real nice advantage of a CD medium is just you have tons of room for wonderful music and sound, and that's where Silent Hill excels.
And we must now mention composer Akira Yamaoka?
Akira Yamaoka.
Yes, who does such an awesome job with each soundtrack. And I believe that they've done, each game's, even in Homecoming, I believe?
Every game.
He's been involved in the music.
Every Silent Hill, he's been his process.
Which is kind of funny, because you listen to the Silent Hill soundtrack, and he's also done stuff for DDR, and it's such a contrast between...
Yeah. But man, the man can compose. He's
like the one person I think that's been involved in every single Silent Hill thing. Period. Like even the movie, he did music for it.
His music was in the movie as well.
Yes. And but that's like you said. You're going through this town. You're going through this creepy elementary school, and you hear just sounds that mortify you. Like you'll hear the piano being played by. Sounds like somebody's molesting it.
Yeah. There's the babies sound like normal babies. Like they do the little normal baby coos and giggles, but when you see what they are, it makes it that much more creepy. I mean,
and they're just all.
And what you don't realize until is you get further in that every single monster and everything actually has a reason for being there. It's actually a representation of something going on in the story or of one of the characters.
Yes. Yeah. And the whole town has what's called an other side or another world, which is even more hellish than what on the surface is. Like every area you go to, you'll fall into this other side for a while, and like the elementary school, it's just a horrific place with red bars everywhere, and
lots of grates, there's some pits.
Yes, and like there's
everything looks rusty.
Yeah,
rusty all around the place, and it's very unsettling.
And you just find little details there, like in the elementary school, like I found like decapitated dolls and shit just littered around, and it's just really unnerving.
Someone once described the music as like being in Satan's warehouse, and that's kind of what the other world brings to mind as well.
Yes.
And whenever you move into the other world, of course, you get these huge, loud, booming air raid sirens.
Yeah.
And just
that's when you go, oh crap!
And it gets louder and louder, and you see the person, holding their hands to their heads as if some of their heads about to burst of pain. And then then you realize, oh gosh, maybe they did.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is a lot of Silent Hill, like you said, the monsters and situations, a lot of them are derived almost from the psyche of whoever's being, visiting. But back to Harry Mason, he eventually finds out that apparently all this is happening because of some cult that's been in Silent Hill forever. Or for a long time.
That's trying to resurrect
their god.
Yeah, their demon god.
And
which creates problems all by itself, especially how they're actually doing it.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if we're going to get into that specifically.
I don't think we need to get into it. I mean,
yeah.
This is one of the games that, I think that you should play for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's especially the first one is really one where you kind of have to figure out stuff yourself. Most of it's just due to the open-ended, freakish nature of the game. Mm-hmm. And it's lended to the fact that some of the translation was done badly and contradicts itself, so you kind of have to put together your own shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look on the internet, there's all kinds of theories about what Silent Hill does or what it represents. There's whole, I want to say, almost dissertations on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there's I bet someone's probably doing their doctoral thesis on something in Silent Hill, one of the games.
Yeah.
And the cult, you see Dahlia Gillespie is the creepy old woman who you think is trying to guide you through Silent Hill and give you hints and stuff, but she's decidedly off.
Oh, yeah, she's guiding you somewhere.
Yeah.
She's guiding you. And, of course, thanks to it being a game narrative, you have no choice but to follow her.
Yes. Or to just...
Not necessarily helping you.
But she's guiding you.
There's a neat little cast. You got, Lisa the nurse.
Yes, who has a very, very detailed into the story.
Dr. Kaufman.
Yeah, Dr. Kaufman, who you never know what he's up to. And you got Sybil Bennett, the cop who's also stranded there. Yeah. She reminds me very much somehow, now that I think of it, of Murphy from Harry Dresden.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
not quite as badass, but
I haven't read it. So.
But that's one thing is that Silent Hill always has a good little cast. Each Silent Hill has its own little set cast, and Silent Hill preys on each of them.
Yes.
One of the things where I won't reveal too much, but you find out that the other world is usually focused at least on one person's psyche, whereas the first one's kind of different because it's actually sort of an amalgamation of both Harry's and Cheryl's.
Yeah,
especially Cheryl's, psyche, sort of converge into one big thing because the entire first story is about them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him trying to find her, what's happening to her while he's away.
Yes. And we'll get into what the second is, but each Silent Hill seems to have that almost, what do you almost call it, a theme, and its own. Each Silent Hill has different monsters. They're just horrific things. Like we talked about the children, and there's crazy stuff in Silent Hill 1, like a giant moth.
Yeah.
And a lot of things you can't really put words to. Each one of the only enemies that keeps coming back is pretty much the nurses.
Yeah, the nurses and Pyramid Head.
Well, Pyramid Head
was only in 2.
He was only in 2 until
he just got really popular, and I think he's in Homecoming.
Yeah,
he's in Homecoming.
Yeah, so
okay, well,
so we'll get to that. You have the whole quest for Harry's, and we're not going to spoil how it ends, but you pretty much have a horrific time going through different locations and putting together these confusing pieces and getting the shit scared out of you.
And also, speaking of confusing pieces, the other thing is that much like Resident Evil, Silent Hill is filled with just crazy ass puzzles.
Oh yes, yeah, it is.
Where it's a lot of these are the really random logic puzzles. Some of them are collectathons. Some are riddles.
Yeah, depending. There's also, I think, in 2 and I think 3, they had difficulties that you could set to the puzzles.
Yeah, as well as the battle.
Yeah, whereas easy was, put these books in order, and they had 1, 2, 3, 4 written on them, and
normal was where you had to spell something out,
and hard was you actually had to know about the stories that these books were talking about, and you had to put them in order from there, and you had to do some research on it.
Yeah, which the option there was pretty cool because that's something that people don't think about.
Well, it was pretty neat. Silent Hill is kind of one of those games I just want to play through and get the plot through, and get freaked out, and that kind of impedes it.
Yeah.
Like, some people really like the puzzles.
Yes.
They like thinking about things and trying to piece it together.
That way you have something for everybody. You can go easy on the puzzles if you want, or you can rack your brains over them.
And honestly, I'm glad that also they had combat sliders, too, because the combat
sucks.
is not the bright spot of Silent Hill.
Combat sucks.
That's something that we need to bring up, is that Silent Hill is not a FPS kill-a-thon in any sort of way. The point is to conserve bullets and to run away when you need to, and it makes it creepier that you're always out of ammo and always out of resources, because otherwise it wouldn't be scary if you could blow everything away.
Exactly.
Well, which is also sort of a staple of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I think Resident Evil is more combat heavy, though.
Well, it is. Well, the idea is that the people who are in Resident Evil are also more combat capable.
Mm.
Whereas most of the people in Silent Hill are just regular average Joes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so they tend to compensate by having the control really crappily.
Yes.
And so you don't really want to be involved in combat because it sucks to play.
And
in fact, they made a point that, Harry's not a soldier. He doesn't really know how to aim a gun. He's actually a writer, if I remember correctly. And
something like that.
Something like that. So you'd be aiming straight at an enemy, and you'd fire, and it would end. It would actually miss.
You'd have to get really close to hit them.
It sucked.
But it makes it scarier because you're like, oh shit. Well, unless you're so pissed you can't get scared over it.
Yeah, that's also true.
But
you got to find that sweet spot.
Exactly. But all in all, it's a really solid game, and some would argue it's the absolute best that the series has to offer. I would have to say that the next one was their master point. Well, I go ahead. Yeah,
I believe that 2. I'll say 2 is my favorite game in the entire series, but I still think 1.
It has a certain
is the best in the way of its creepiness.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of set the stage for everything.
Yeah,
else.
I think it may be the scariest.
It's probably the scariest of all the games.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, without a 1, you couldn't have a 2 or others.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But if that's all, maybe we should move on to 2, unless y'all have more to say. I don't want to spoil the...
Yeah. Just play it for yourself if you haven't yet. It's been 9 years. Come on.
Yes.
You can usually... It is getting harder and harder to track down, mostly because a lot of used game stores don't really carry the PlayStation 1 games anymore. But I'm sure that if you look on eBay or on Amazon stuff, I'm sure you can find some copies.
Right.
And if you're really savvy, well, perhaps you only have to look.
Right. Like I did. Oh, sorry.
But now, on to Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2 was released, a few years later in 2001, and this time it's for the PlayStation 2, baby, so we got the updated graphics and everything. We got James Sunderland as our protagonist, who receives a letter from his deceased wife. Now, that's pretty hardcore to me. That just starts it out like, oh shit.
Right.
And she's telling him to...
Once again, Silent Hill is luring you to come to it.
Yeah.
Well, what's different is that in this one, you find out that James and Maria?
No, Mary is his wife. Maria is the other.
Mary's the other girl. And James and Mary, they've been to Silent Hill before when they were younger. Just possibly just a matter of years previously, as sort of a retreat. They were vacationing at Silent Hill.
And it was a lovely little town where none of this shit that happens now was going on.
Yes, it was a nice little lake town. Yeah.
So, of course, that already tells you that there's something. That's how town's weird. Some people can go through and it'll be great. Some can go through and it'll be the worst thing ever.
Yes.
At the time, it was still great.
Right.
I like to think it was the town setting them up for their later encounters, but whatever.
I don't know. My theory was that it was awesome, and then all of a sudden stuff went down, and now all Silent Hill's a creep show.
Yeah, that's true. What was the...
But the game never actually tells you this ever in any of the games.
You got to decide for yourself.
It's one of those things you always can decide for yourself.
Yes.
But we do know that they did go there. They had a great time. Then, as time went on, between the years,
she died of her sickness.
Yeah.
Or
his illness or her illness or
she's
something.
She's dead. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, she's dead.
She's dead, and you got a letter from her.
Yep, saying to meet there at your special place.
Dun dun dun.
And so Jay goes, okay, well, it's kind of creepy, but I guess I'll go. I mean,
Might as well go.
Just a resort town. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh crap! It's Pyramid Head. But let's get into that. The monsters in Silent Hill 2 are decidedly different, and some people pick this up, some don't. But they have a pretty sexual,
right?
Almost, some people would even say almost misogynistic. I don't know if I'd go that far.
I mean, like one of the ones in particular are the mannequins on top of each other.
Yeah, it's just pretty much two legs attached to each other, and the way they dangle and squirm around is creepy as hell.
Well, it's also just to put this out properly. There are two sets of legs. That top of each other. Like take two sets of mannequins, chop them off at the waist, then glue the two waists together.
Right. Mm-hmm. They've got some shape to their legs, but they look creepy.
Yes.
Oh, man.
And, the other monsters are like, I don't know, that one that's like a weird sack of flesh that, like, spits shit at you.
Yeah.
Or the people wrapped up in straitjackets move around like cockroaches.
Yeah.
There's also, the nurses are a little different in this game than the others. They're a bit more sexualized. They have the shorter skirts, and
in the first one,
showing cleavage, and
in the first one, they're kind of... In the first one, you can tell that there's this weird growth out the back of them that looks like some kind of almost insect has taken them over.
Yeah.
And the second one, they're just demented succubuses almost.
Right. Not that they're exactly hot that you want to look at these things, but...
Yeah, they're bleeding,
they're trying... You can tell they're trying to, I think a lot of people say it's a manifestation of James's sexual frustration in the game. And
that actually becomes a big point of the plot, too.
Yeah.
Whether you want to,
Depends on how deeply we want to get into this podcast.
Yeah.
But
it's safe to say it took James's psyche this time.
Well, it depends on when you view it. Because much like in the current, or all the Silent Hills again, there's a cast. You don't have just James. You have James. There's another girl named Maria who you hang out with. There's another girl who I forget her name.
The little girl.
There's the little girl.
Laura,
and then there's the other girl, the older one that's also James' age.
Oh, right. Oh, God, I can't remember her name. She's the one with the knife who is looking for her mother, I believe. God, Susan's going to kill me if I get this wrong.
There's Eddie.
Oh, Eddie.
And there's also Eddie.
Oh, God, Eddie.
Eddie's just kind of there.
And the thing is that each one of them views Silent Hill completely differently.
Yes.
Like, the one girl is searching for the mother. She sees the entire city in flames all the time.
And it's freaky.
Eddie sees everything with, bullet holes riddling everything with blood dripping out of them.
Yes.
The little girl sees nothing.
Yeah. She's completely innocent and quote-unquote pure of heart, pretty much. So she doesn't know what everyone else is all freaked out about.
So, it really beats it home that, Silent Hill is sort of this freaky Twilight Zone where everyone sees everything differently.
It's kind of your own personal hell, almost.
This game in particular is where that tries to show through.
Yeah, and in the first one, you can't really tell as much. In the second, you get these really big hints, not only from characters' descriptions, but when you see the view from the girl with everything's on fire, and you notice, shit, everything is on fire from her, and it's freaky. And that's really, it's almost like a purgatory sort of situation.
Yeah, it's like, as time goes on through the game, you become, you're the main character, James, starts becoming more and more connected to these other people at Silent Hill, and so his silent view, as it were, their views start leaking in on his.
Yeah.
So he can start, thanks to the connections they've grown with the bonds, he can now see how they see things.
Mm-hmm.
And even James is, for worse, it almost looks somewhat waterlogged.
Yes.
Even though it's sort of similar to Harry's.
Speaking of which, this game was entirely extra creepy for me. The main character's name being
James. Yes.
I just want to point that out. Don't ever have a Silent Hill game with the main character the same name as yours.
Exactly.
That's just messed up, man.
And one of the neat things about Silent Hill 2 is it also took the time to really give you a sense of the town.
Yes.
Like, the first one, you knew there was a town there, and you could see things like there'd be a diner over here and a gas station over here, and you could definitely see all hallmarks of what the town would have. This one really goes out of its way to show you the town. Especially because it's the PS2, the graphic fidelity is much higher. They can make things a lot more realized.
The Mist is beautiful in its
You had a lot more freedom in this game to walk around and explore stuff if you so chose to.
They had a lot of really great, neat graphical filters, the graininess. Mm-hmm. They really went overboard on making the Mist look awesome and very Mist-like and very creepy, and still kept the audio fidelity that Silent Hill 1 had, but now you had the graphical fidelity to match it.
Yes. At the beginning, before I even got to see the monsters, I could just creep myself out by staring at the Mist and trying to see if it made patterns and shit. Then again, it was really late at night.
Can't say I tried that myself. But
sometimes I thought I did see things in the Mist when I was, again, watching Suze play it.
Yeah.
Because I'm too much of a wuss to actually try to play these games.
Of course.
And each Silent Hill, well, most of them seem to have, not only they have their slew of monsters, but each one seems to have a key monster. Mm-hmm. Like the first one, some might call it, quote-unquote, Samael. And if you know who that is, good. If you don't, you'll find out when you play. The second one has what many consider to be the icon of the series, Pyramid Head. Also called Red Pyramid by some of the staff. But
I think Pyramid Head is
Red Pyramid thing.
Yeah.
They once saw in a book.
But yeah, he's iconically known as Pyramid Head. And it's a dude wearing the cultist executioner outfit with a big fucking pyramid on his head.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And he's got a giant butcher knife that he drags along behind him.
And he's relentless.
Yes.
That's one of the biggest things is that, there's this giant, really freaking weird-looking dude, and he's coming after you no matter what.
Yeah.
And you want to run the hell away.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
And as odd as it seems, it is very, very, very effective at scaring the shit out of you, I thought.
There's actually, the very first time in the game you see him, you can't touch him and he can't touch you. There's a gate between the two of you. Mm-hmm. And if you walk up to him, he doesn't do anything. He's just standing there staring at you.
And it's freaky.
It's creepy as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where one of the best scenes in Silent Hill 2 is you actually get to go to the was it the Silent Hill Historical Society?
Yes, the Historical Society. That was my favorite level, that and the prison under it.
Where you get to poke around and really learn the history of Silent Hill, and then out of nowhere, you see this giant portrait of him, and James just freaks out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's great. Man, I gotta play that game again.
And then, as I was reading on the forums that I read a lot on, they mentioned, it was actually, I think it was actually one of the developers of Homecoming. He was one of the producers, but I think he mentioned it, where it's you realize that, of course, they took a weekend, they took a trip here. Mm-hmm. He's probably been through this historical site before because of the tourist trap.
Right.
And so it's probably the reason why Pyramid Head looks where Pyramid Head looks is because he's seen that picture before. Mm. And he's probably recalling it.
Subconsciously, maybe?
Well, probably consciously when he's back and then sees it again and then puts everything together.
Right.
Yeah. That's also true. But that'd be a really creepy photo to see if you don't know about the place.
But Silent Hill 2, I thought was pretty much a masterwork of the Silent Hill universe, and while the sequels were good after that, I thought that Silent Hill 2 was kind of the peak of the series for me.
I agree. It's been my favorite out of all the games, and we should also mention that plot-wise it's completely independent of the other games.
Yes.
It's not like a typical sequel.
Which what makes it, I think, good is that they took this setting of Silent Hill and they went out of their way to craft another story where realizing that, the cult, that's not important. Samael, that's not important. Well, the thing is, this is a spot where freaky stuff happens and freaky things happen to people who come to this town. Let's tell a story based on that.
And interlace the people's background into where you're revealed as you get through the layers of the town. You're getting through layers of people's backstories too.
Silent Hill is the mirror and landscape to reflect who these people are and why they're here and what's wrong with them.
Exactly. That's brilliantly said. That's perfect.
And that's what Silent Hill is. That's what Silent Hill should be.
And that's why 2 is so great, because it shows that.
And that's why 3 is such a disappointment.
It's true.
Even though I never played it.
3 was... The weird thing about 3 is that it was a Silent Hill game, that the majority of it didn't take place in Silent Hill.
It was also kind of intended to be a direct sequel to Silent Hill 1.
But yeah, you're right. There are some reiterations from the first Silent Hill game that come back to Silent Hill 3. Harry's back, in a way.
Yeah, in a way.
And
Isn't like Cheryl back in a way?
In a way.
in a way, yes. Once again, Silent Hill is fucked up.
It's the whole point of what I think they're trying to do with Silent Hill 3 is to, through a really twisted method, kind of close some issues from Silent Hill 1. But,
The thing about it, though, is that Silent Hill 3 kind of assumes the good ending of Silent Hill 1 and kind of takes it from there.
Which, by the way, all Silent Hills all have a crap ton of endings.
It's
You know,
true.
good endings, bad endings, dogs controlling UFO endings.
endings...
It runs the gamut.
Yeah.
It's got a few staples. For example, it's, there's a radio you pick up that spits static and gargles at you every time there's an enemy around, which just adds to the game's creepiness factor.
Yeah.
And the flashlight. Can't forget the flashlight.
But yeah, those are basic Silent Hill staples right there.
Yeah, well, I guess it's something we probably should have talked about way earlier, but
Oh, yeah.
it's true. You have the radio, which does signal when the monsters are coming.
Which goes back to my whole point to Lee about, did you wear headphones while doing it? Because the radio will spit in your ear and freak you the hell out.
Yes.
And and then the lights are, ever since the very first Silent Hill, the big thing was that you do have a flashlight or some form of light emitting device, where so that area that you're shining light on will be visible, but everything else will be dark.
Yes.
Which really heightens the whole creepiness, because you only see where that cone of light is giving you.
You also,
Everywhere else, you don't know what's going on.
I know this was true in especially the first game, but I'm not sure if they kept this up. But the flashlight gives away where you are.
Yeah.
Like, monsters will come to you if you have the flashlight on.
And that's the thing, in the first game I could remember needing to get back to the school, but there were too many monsters, so I just turned the flashlight off and ran for it.
Yeah. That definitely helps. I don't know if they kept that going in the later games.
I'm not quite sure.
But I know you can still turn them on and off and all that stuff.
To a degree it does, but not in the same way.
Yeah, right.
And in 2, they added something where the radio doesn't signal monsters if the monsters are completely still and not doing anything.
Right.
Which
I think I remember that.
When you first find the flashlight in 2, if you turn it on, right behind you is one of those mannequin things, and it won't be moving, so it won't be setting off your radio. And that scares the hell out of people. It did me. But anyways, back to 3.
Yes, back to 3.
Back to 3.
Back to 3.
3, like you said, doesn't take place fully in Silent Hill. It has this runaround narrative. It's all about this girl named Heather, who she's in the mall one day, and she has a run-in with some detective dude that, she doesn't trust this guy, doesn't even think he's a detective. His name's Douglas, and he looks like a bum. So she ducks into the girl's room, climbs out the back window, and finds herself in the mall again, except things are decidedly fucked up.
Very much so different. There's one scene in particular in the bathroom where it harkens back to Silent Hill 2, where he's like, should I reach in and find out what's there? And she's like, ew, who would do that?
Yeah.
You guys are sick.
In fact, she'll normally just go no, but if you have data from Silent Hill 2, that's when she'll go, ooh, who would you do that?
Yeah.
And if you've played Silent Hill 2, James doesn't care the fact that he's dipping into a toilet to get some evidence. I mean,
he just reaches in, feces and all, to pick up something.
Mm-hmm.
All the main characters in all the Silent Hills are crazy.
Yes.
Just so you know, this isn't much of a spoiler, because they do things that no reasonable person would ever think about doing. Oh, do I need to jump into this giant hole? It seems like it's so deep it plunges into the depths of hell itself. Okay.
Yes. James was a messed up guy.
Well, so was Henry Townsend. He'd do all sorts of crazy shit. But we'll get to that when we get to 4.
Yes.
Back to 3.
Back to 3.
Back to 3. She's, in this mall otherworld, and she's being led by this weird... Well, not really led. She's confronted by this crazy lady named Claudia, who's talking about her being, what, key to the... Was it key to the God's rebirth, or
yes,
mother of something?
She was going to bring the... It all harkened... Silent Hill 3 focuses a lot on the cult that was just mentioned in Silent Hill 1.
Yeah.
And Claudia is one of the cultists. She's trying to bring back the god. And Heather, being a part of Silent Hill 1 story, had to be a huge chunk of that in birthing the new god that they were trying to bring about.
And so they were leading her back to Silent Hill.
Exactly.
And yet the influence of Silent Hill was reaching still then.
Even to these other towns that... It doesn't say what other town they were in, but unfortunately most of the first half of the game takes place in running around where Heather lives, trying to get back home.
Yeah.
And the last half finally takes place in Silent Hill.
And I thought this game tried too hard to pull things together from the first game about the cult.
Yeah.
That it became so central to it that it lost the mysterious Silent Hill Town of Sins thing.
Well, yeah, it did, but it also explained a lot from the first game. It explained
that's
a
true.
lot of questions.
They got a lot of things out in the open.
And remember, the cultists didn't really create Silent Hill. It's
the key element.
Well, it's more like the city created, the town created the cultists.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is just, again, a bad zone, and these people lived here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you live in that zone for so long, you gotta go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this has not been just a recent Silent Hill, is just now bad. I have a feeling that Silent Hill's always not been a good area.
Mm-hmm. And there are lots of fan theories on how that came about, but again, you can judge that for your own. But really, the game is a Silent Hill, and it has some really, really freaky effects and moments. Some of the other worlds are really crazy, like you'll go into one place and look at yourself in the mirror, and your mirror side will start being riddled with all these spots and blotches as these tendrils creep around the mirror side until it eventually causes you to decay and become dead on the other side of the mirror. Little touches like that make it freaky as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say that I thought the monster designs really weren't quite as ingenious as the second and first one.
Not really. I agree. I'm also not too comfortable with the other world happening outside of Silent Hill, but once again, that's got to be because of someone's own psyche. Like,
yeah,
even the mall that Heather was in has another world. All the other areas she was in has another world.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It
was kind of taking an idea and running with it.
It lost its touch when that started happening for me.
Mm.
I guess you might be able to argue that because she had been in Silent Hill previously, the experience, traumatized her to the point where she could view these strange other worlds, even though she's no longer in the place that would actually cause. Because remember, I still think a lot of things that happen in Silent Hill takes place in your mind so much, not so much as the place itself. The place just helps you bring it to life.
Correct.
And she was, I don't think we're going to get into exactly what she was, but she was a really big factor of some of the shit that's gone down, so...
Silent Hill 3 explains a lot of the Cheryl storyline,
and
it picks up where Silent Hill 1 left off, and
suffice to say, the ending of Silent Hill 1 did not go exactly to how the cultists would have liked it to happen.
Yes.
And they sort of want to fix their earlier mistakes in Silent Hill 3, where they all screwed up in Silent Hill 1.
Exactly.
But, despite problems, it has some great levels, some not so great levels, and one of my favorite is when you get to the carnival, there's a haunted house.
Oh, yes.
That is my fucking favorite
Danny
thing.
is the best character in Silent Hill, period.
Yes, that is great.
That is Danny. It kind of adds to the creepiness, and also it introduces, I think, what's his name? Fred the Bunny?
Oh, yes, those
Fred
bunnies.
the Bunny.
God damn it.
He's become a Silent Hill staple since 3 as well.
Yes, it's a mascot bunny at a carnival with a mouthful of blood and creepy as hell.
Yes.
But like Silent Hill 2 had Pyramid Head. Silent Hill 3 has a creature, and I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, called Vatiel.
Yeah, Vatiel.
And he is pretty much, he's like Pyramid Head, he's pretty much wearing an executioner's type outfit from the paintings in the Historical Society, except he's got this weird flesh rivets in him, and he's got this head that's bobbing always the wrong direction. Right. And if you get a game over screen, you either get a regular game over screen, or sometimes you'll see him come drag Heather's corpse away. Mm-hmm. He's just always doing these crazy things. When you enter the other world, he's turning this little valve.
Yes, you see him every time Heather enters the other world, and some theories are that it's his fault. He's the one that's setting the gears in motion, so to speak, to go to the other world now.
Yeah.
He's the one that's controlling how Heather's going to get to Silent Hill and all that.
And while he's not as iconic as Pyramid Head, he's sort of the Pyramid Head of the series.
Right, exactly.
The whole cult thing really boils up to a head, and it really gets freaky at the end. I mean, it gets really...
It pretty much, like I said earlier, it focuses on the cult, gives you a lot of story about the cult, and just focuses more so on it.
Yes, which sort of, in some ways, I suppose you could say, it sort of deviates from what the Silent Hill formula is at its best. Mm-hmm. Again, with these individual characters, it's almost like a stage drama where you're watching all these things unfold based off their internal problems. This one's much more, I don't want to say thriller movie plot, but there's definitely you much more have a clear set of bad guys, and you have a clear set heroine. And they're sort of duking it out with each other.
Yeah, and it seems like the most important characters are just Heather and Claudia. There seems to be no...
exactly.
The other characters are just there to add garnished little details to the scene.
And I mean, in a sense, Silent Hill 1 was sort of the same way, but that was very much because it was brand new and it was so weird, and Harry had no clue why he was here. All he was trying to find his daughter and save her. Mm-hmm. This one seems much more of a... "Ha-ha, we are the bad guys, and we're going to get you. No, I am going to defeat you because I am the heroine."
Mm-hmm. This is especially good if you have unlocked the magical girl outfit for Heather in the game.
Yeah, at the end, there's some extras that kind of offset the creepiness, like different outfits you can put on that are ridiculous.
It's totally worth it.
It just seems like it focuses so much on, exploding things, you lose some of the mystique and some of the mystery that is Silent Hill.
I think it's a fun and scary and engaging tale. I just don't think it's quite up to par with 2 and 1.
I agree.
And then we moved on straight into the Silent Hill that wasn't supposed to be Silent Hill.
Silent Hill 4.
The Room.
Silent Hill crap.
Well, me and James will get into a little thing over this in a minute. But Silent Hill 4 was originally a side project with Konami and the remnants of Team Silent, if you want to call it that, were working on. And it was going to be its own thing. It wasn't going to have Silent Hill in front of it. But guess what? It's a horror-ish, survival horror-ish atmosphere with Konami's working on it. And if you put the name Silent Hill, it's going to sell a lot better. So they did.
Yep, and it did.
And they reworked a lot of the very small references from other games into it. Like characters like Walter Sullivan, who is mentioned as being it's not even really canonically... Walter Sullivan's not a key player in anything, but he was mentioned. So they put him in as a serial killer for 4.
Yeah, he was mentioned in a book that you read in Silent Hill 2?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So I think I remember watching Stu play the game, you see that book? Yeah. It tells a story that you'll find out in Silent Hill 4. Mm. I was like, oh, okay. That's cool, I guess. Mm.
And 4 has to do with a guy named Harry Townsend. And I have to admit, even though it deviates, because he's in the city over from Silent Hill.
Yeah. Once again, a Silent Hill game not taking place in Silent Hill. Keep going.
Yes. He one day awakens... Well, first he has this nightmare where his walls are rust and blood-colored, and the furniture's not his, and some demon ghost breaks through the wall and tries to kill him. He wakes up from this fevered dream to find that his front door is shackled open, and no matter how much he bangs on the doors or windows...
Shackled closed.
Okay, erase that. Waking from his feverish nightmare, he finds that his front door to his apartment is shackled closed in a horrific manner with just chains and locks everywhere. And
I mean, it could have been a Final Fantasy character from recent Final Fantasies.
It's true. There was like 8 chains on that sucker.
And, no matter how much he pounds on the door, the windows, nobody notices him.
Right. He is completely silent or cut off from the rest of the world in
Yes.
his room.
And that's what a lot of the horror comes from. You don't realize at first, but it actually comes from that room, which is why it's aptly titled The Room.
Ooh, imagine that shit.
But the whole tie into Silent Hill is that the room becomes his home base, and he finally finds a hole in his bathroom wall that he can use to traverse into other worlds that are related to Silent Hill.
Right. Not so much Silent Hill still.
There's one on Toluca Lake.
Yeah, but that's about it.
And then there's one that's that is like a... It's supposed to be an orphanage, but it's pretty much a place where they brainwash people for their cult. Yeah. Again, it's not in Silent Hill.
In fact, some people say that this is a different cult than the one.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. But
still, freaky stuff happens.
Yes, it much has the exploration and monsters and everything, but it trips over a lot of problems on the way.
My main problem, this is probably my least favorite game in the entire series, and it's mostly due to game mechanics. This is a game I could have enjoyed so much, and I just got frustrated with it and couldn't finish it. And I'll admit, I didn't finish Silent Hill 4. I couldn't get through it. I got so frustrated playing it. Like, halfway through the game, you actually have to replay all the levels you've gone through. Mm-hmm. There's 4 main levels, and you have to go through them again, which kind of peeved me off anyway.
And they're a lot harder because you've got a person you're guiding through there now.
You've got a person guiding you through there, and she sucks, and her AI is dumb.
Oh, her AI is dumb.
You have to hold her hand, guide her through, and on top of that, you've got Walter Sullivan chasing you throughout the latest half of the game, trying to kill you. So you're juggling all this shit, and I just suddenly said, you know what, screw it, I'm done with it, never mind.
Which is a shame, because it has some real gems, at least I think, storyline-wise, that just happens. And they're just neat little mysteries within the game. Like, for example, every world you traverse, when you'll meet someone in it, that's also from your apartment complex.
Right.
And when you come out, you'll hear an ambulance, and they'll come cart this person away because they've been carved up. They're usually dead by the time the ambulance gets them, though.
Right.
And they each have a number on them, and the numbers change each time, and you have to figure out what the numbers mean.
Right.
And but the series did deviate with its gameplay values, and it introduced one of the most frustrating monster type ever, which are these demonic ghosts.
Yes.
You can hit them a million times. You cannot kill them. They'll eventually go down if you're lucky, but then you just they'll come back up a little bit later.
There's a special item you can use, but you only get like 2 or 3 of them to ward them off.
Yeah, they're called Swords of Obedience, which are real cool because you pretty much stick this. After you knock, it's frustrating. You have to get them down to a certain level, then stick the sword in, and they'll stay there gurgling and making this awful sound.
Yes. Of course, you only have a few of these to use, and you can't use them for each ghost in there.
Yeah, because if you remove one from the ghost, he'll come chase you again.
Yes.
So you pretty much have to say, what's the most annoying ghost in the game? I'll sword them and kind of duck from the other ones.
But another gameplay mechanic I didn't like was one taken straight out of Resident Evil. Mm-hmm. The limited inventory, and the only way to store things was you had to go all the way back to your apartment, and in there is an inventory chest.
Yes.
Oh, that's Resident Evil. And that's kind of where it perturbed me wrong as well, because I don't think Resident Evil's elements should be in a Silent Hill game.
Exactly. I mean, it's got enough similarities. You don't need to limit us.
They're both good, just doing their own thing, and they don't need to borrow from each other, in my opinion.
It really sounds like it's a case of this shouldn't have been a Silent Hill game in the first place.
Exactly.
I mean, you look at Devil May Cry 2, it's yet another case where Devil May Cry Team was building their own a brand new action game, and then Capcom was like, "Oh well, we heard Devil May Cry was really popular. Let's make this Devil May Cry 2. Put Dante in there. Kick out your original main character." And from what I understand, I never played the game because I heard it was stupid, but that half people don't even understand what not Silent Hill 2, Devil May Cry 2 story even was, because it was so out there and so different from Devil May Cry's one story.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which they eventually worked around with Devil May Cry 3 being a prequel to 1, and Devil May Cry 4 taking place between 1 is before 2 and after 1. Like, they're just ignoring that 2 exists.
Well, there is that, but as Lee was saying, there are a couple good points in Silent Hill. One of the particular ones that I liked was at different points in the game, you could look through the peephole of the apartment, and you can also check on your neighbors and things like that. Sometimes if you look through the peephole, you'd see messages written,
yes,
supposedly in blood, and sometimes Walter Sullivan would just be standing out front, and you're like, holy crap, what's he doing there?
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't doing anything, he was just standing there looking at you.
Yeah.
And, like, as you mentioned earlier, when people get carted off, every time someone died in the game, there was a handprint on the opposite wall.
Mm-hmm.
And each time you look through the peephole, and after someone died, there'd be another hand.
More. Yeah. And one of my favorites is the hauntings. In the second half of the game, your apartment, which used to use as a safe haven where your health would slowly regenerate, gets haunted. And there are like 24 different, maybe not that many, but there are dozens of different ghosts that could appear in your apartment. From a simple one where your windows are clattering, to crazy shit like finding a dead cat in your fridge.
One of the more obvious ones would be the faces trying to crawl out of the walls and things like that. I like the ghosts a lot. I like the ideas they had for them.
Mm-hmm.
Also to mention that whenever you were in the apartment, the game went to first-person view.
Yes, which made the ghost that much creepier
Right.
because you're just from a you-looking standpoint.
Exactly. And I did like that, but sometimes I thought it happened way too much, and you had to use all of your items, all of your candles to scare away the ghost, and then it's like the sort of obedience issue where you're like, oh shit, I'm out of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Crap.
But some of the ghosts were really creative. Like, there's one time, and it's fun going around looking for them, because when you're near them, Henry doesn't have a radio, but his head kind of makes one for him. When you're near them, you hear the static, and he gets a headache, and things get grainy.
Yeah.
And there's this little ghost of a little boy in your closet. It scared the fuck out of me. Maybe you didn't get him.
I didn't see that one.
So, some ghost I had never seen until a second playthrough, which is telling on how many different ghosts there are, which is awesome.
Now, can these ghosts hurt you
Yes.
when you're in the apartment?
When you're in the apartment and you get near them, if you don't lay down a candle or you're wearing a saint medallion that protects you until it breaks, they'll drain your health.
Yeah. Which is why I brought up the point earlier of, oh shit, I'm running out of candles. Oh crap, I'm screwed.
And also, your ending depends on if you've exercised enough ghosts, kind of adds to the total of how good an ending you're going to get.
Right.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting little game.
Unfortunately, it's kind of flaw-laden.
Yes.
And also, unfortunately, sort of marked the end of the Japanese-developed Silent Hill so far.
Yes, very sad.
Unfortunately.
As that was pretty much it until this past year, where we've actually been graced with 2 Silent Hill games, both done by 2 different sets of the American branch.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, these guys actually went to Konami and said, "Hey, we want to make Silent Hill games."
And they're like, yeah, Silent Hill games sell, let's do it.
And so, there we go, which has been Origins, which was for the PSP, and then later on PS2.
I actually have not played Origins yet.
I've heard, I don't really play these, so I don't know much, but I've heard mixed. I mean, I've heard people have enjoyed it. Some people have hated it because some people hate everything, but
Right.
And some fans were freaking out because it's not quite what Silent Hill should be or whatnot, but it's there, and it definitely captures the spirit, I hear, of Silent Hill very well.
Mm.
Have you played it, Lee? Or
I'm planning to pick up it very, very soon.
Okay.
Excellent.
So we're sort of talking out our ass right now, but
Yeah, you'll have to
That's
pardon
why
us
I missed
for
because it was on PSP. So.
yeah, you'll have to pardon us for missing this vital point in the series, and we'll have a follow up on this. I assure you.
you know,
Maybe.
And then just recently, Lee picked up Homecoming, which is the newest one,
Which we will
by
also
Double
talk
Helix, and I've heard I hear it strikes closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
Like it hits it better out of the ball, hits it more out of the ballpark than Origins did.
You mentioned the developers. I actually saw a few videos from Game Trailers and a few other websites floating around where they were actually interviewing the team, and you can tell that these guys are really excited about making Silent Hill games, and they really want to keep it to the original. They actually bring up one of the points in that Silent Hill combat sucks. They really want to improve Silent Hill combat, which is good, but it kind of worries me too because Silent Hill should still not be a combat-intensive game.
What I hear is the combat's better. The combat is now serviceable. It's not.
Ah, okay.
Like, because you play a guy who's a soldier.
Right.
Yeah.
So they figured, well, he should know more than just, shooting into blank air and hoping he hits.
Uh-huh.
So, if they balance it between not being frustrating but still being survival, then
Yes.
I think they'll do well.
And I hear it's one that's about the people in the Silent Hill. Although I hear it might start off in one of the adjoining towns yet again.
Mm.
And then moves into Silent Hill. But again, I haven't played it. I'm not sure.
We'll find out.
I'm going to play the crap out of it, so we'll have if not I doubt we'll have a whole thing devoted. We may have a whole thing devoted to it, but we'll at least have me chirping in World of Awesomes on how it's coming along.
Excellent.
And so, our current time code is sitting at well past an hour. So
We didn't get GTFO.
Yeah.
So, good night, and
Sleep tight.
We're not going to rate this baby?
wary. Oh yeah, we need to rate this. James, play some music. There you go. Music's playing. So, well, we sort of have 4 games. Are we going to rate the series or rate it by game?
Rate the whole series, or what do you think?
I say I'm going to rate 1 through 3 and then rate 4.
Go for it, man.
1 through 3 is freaking awesome. It's like 6 stabbing baby knives of demonic awesomeness, in my opinion.
Yes.
And 4,
Half was...
I could take a shit in the CD box and it'd be just as worthwhile to me.
I'll have to confess that I'm going to give it half a baby awesome stabbing.
Okay. Half a baby demonic stabbing.
I mean, it's got a lot of stuff that I like about it. I'll go on a long time about it, so shut me up. But
I do agree that the story, I could have really enjoyed it, but it just didn't feel like a Silent Hill game to me, which is why I consider it separate.
What I'm interested in seeing is that coming out next year, hopefully, by the studio Remedy, guys who make Max Payne games,
Yeah.
they're making a game called Alan Wake.
Oh, yeah. So
Where
I'm
it's
interested in
about
this.
what's it called?
Alan Wake.
Yeah.
It's about, if I remember correctly, was it a suspense writer or mystery writer or horror writer who has sort of been burnt out, and so he's gone to this pastoral lakeside village to sort of recharge his batteries, and things happen.
Right.
This sounds very suspiciously to me, probably not intentionally, but much like sort of in a sense to Silent Hill, because got Ryder going to a lakeside village or town.
Right.
Should happen.
Stuff happens. And Remedy is very much about making this very, very, cinematic, very much a suspense thriller type thing.
I'm going to have to pick that up.
And it's going to be on 360, and the screenshots they've recently released looks really good. And so hopefully maybe this might be the spiritual successor to that style of gameplay, or maybe like a brand new series we can talk about on the OSMcast.
When do you know when it's coming out?
It's supposed to be out for a while.
Ah.
They've had some development setbacks, but we're hoping they're supposedly releasing a new trailer sometime this month. Like I said, they were just released some screenshots, and hopefully we'll see it on the 360 next year. I believe it's a 360 exclusive too.
Awesome.
So there we go.
For you, PS3.
So I'm rating Silent Hill by saying look forward to Alan Wake. And on that note,
we out.
We out.
Oh my god, it's Pyramid Head! Pyramid Head!
Don't rape the mannequin!
Burning our drugs!
It's Rape O'Clock. What?
Fuck you guys.
This should have ended way longer ago.
Oh shit, it's Silent Hill! There are monsters everywhere!
Oh, he's saying Silent Hill. I thought he was saying burning my grill.
Or burn my dread.
Fuck you guys. No, I'm not doing it.
Don't be hating.